Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. And I'm Black. Hello, shalom. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville, the podcast, the place to be. I am your host, Chanel number 5, and it is episode 5. So I'm very excited about it. That's my favorite number. We are still on a roll. I can't thank you enough for riding this ride along with me. We're all figuring out together this crazy ride that we call life. Anyways, enough of that. You know what? I'm hype. I'm here for it. Let's just jump right into it, okay? Look, first thing I need to do is talk about some of the ridiculousness that I have seen recently, specifically in the clubs, okay? I'm still out there in the nightlife, a little bit, get money, get busy. I'm still out here doing a little 1 2 1 2. So let me say some of the things that I've observed, and I'm a little taken aback because I didn't know this is where we were. Okay, first thing we need to discuss is, well, first of all, how you doing? Is everything okay? You all right? Okay, good. If not, leave it in the comments. Send me a message. We can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. With all that being said, let's just get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about. Now, maybe I don't know something. Like, I've never been a fashionista. I never been one to really keep up with the trends. I like what I like. I know how I like to look cute. But as far as trying to be like, oh, this is the new... it never really spoke to me like that. I like to watch other people get into it and do the things, and I admire it. But as far as being really style efficient and really get into all of the fashion things, I don't know. I love art, but that's one that I just observed from afar but never really got into for myself. Anyways, I digress. So I saw this girl and she was at the club with tights on. Now, not hear me out, not leggings, which is an abomination in itself. I'm sorry. I mean, look, a bar or very laid back setting under certain circumstances. Could I see someone wearing, okay, fine, whatever, yoga pants, whatever. Look, it's a different time. The girls are not doing it how we once upon a time back in the day. But that's another conversation. No. Not a fashion tight, not a fashion legging. This girl had on tights, like your grandma's Sunday tights, okay? That shiny kind of a white iridescent, not an opaque stocking, okay? But a tight nonetheless. Yes, whatever you're envisioning. Yes, and look, this was not the type of tight that you would see on your favorite pop star, Sabrina Carpenter, Dua Lipa, SZA. This was not like a Capezio, you know what I'm saying, dancer performer tight that, you see the girls wear on stage to make their legs look really, a Taylor Swift, a Brandy Monica even, It was not even that of a Capezia where you could say, oh, okay, she's trying to give performer. She's trying to give, like the drag queens wearing the thing, a performer. No, this was just like, and they didn't look necessarily brand new out of the pack either. I'm like, did you raid your grandmother's door? Were you trying to go for that barely there effect, or were you trying to hide a scar? Did you not want to shave your leg? I was just very, and look, I'm all for personal style. I'm all for people, hey, be your own trendsetter. And as we know, styles come and go, trends come and go. And maybe this girl was ahead of the curve, but I was just like, man, I thought we left. I ain't even thought about a pair of tights, dog. Probably since like I couldn't even tell you. It wasn't even in style by the time I got to high school. And I mean, I know a lot of the early 2000s things are coming back. But we digging it. Look, and I'm all for one for trends and things coming back. But some granny tights in the club, I don't know, man. You might have lost me with that one, man. You might have lost me. At least in the way that she did. Now, did she think she was giving, a Sabrina Carpenter, a performer? I'm that girl on stage type of vibe. Is that what she thought she was giving? Maybe, but it was not giving that. So y'all let me know something. Did I miss something? Did I not get the memo? All I'm saying is it's probably not a trend I'm gonna jump on. Now look, you talk about a fishnet. I'm a fishnet girl. I cannot wait until whenever the weather gets just right for me to bust out a fishnet, black pantyhose. I'm a fishnet queen, and I feel like fishnets never go out of style. I love them. I love a fashion fishnet that has like the extra designs with the little floral in it or whatever. I love a fishnet with the holes, whether you put them in yourself or you buy them that way. I love a distressed fishnet. I don't know. It's just something so timeless about it. But just a goddamn, I don't know, man. Y'all let me know something. Maybe, like I said, I'm not that girl. I could be wrong. Now, here's another thing that I cannot believe. I cannot believe that I was still witnessing in the clubs. And I was uncomfortable and I wanted to leave, to be quite honest. And I haven't heard it in a while. And so maybe the DJ felt like, okay, this is a good time for me to test, for me to, maybe people have forgotten, maybe people requested it. I don't know. But I didn't think that we were still listening to R. Kelly. Look, I know it's hard for some people to let go of their faves. I understand that sometimes you can separate the art from the artist. I don't know that this is one of those situations. I don't know that it's that. And, I think I might have been in the minority. Now, I don't know if it was the type of establishment that I was in or what, but the audience, the patrons were here for it. The dancers were here for it. I don't know if it was because of the alcohol. I don't know if people just don't care. I don't know if people forgot. I am not one of those people. That is one of those situations where, it's very unfortunate because lots of great music, lots of great bangers, but I cannot find it in myself to listen to his music and pretend like it does not trigger certain dialogue in my head and memories and thought. No. Now, are there situations where artists have done some questionable things and it's like, okay, well, I don't like them as a person, but I can get with their music? Sure. Absolutely. But with something like that, I couldn't believe. I was just like, I don't feel safe in this environment. Because what are we saying here? Okay? I'll leave it at that. Because we're going to open up another can of worms. Now, another thing that I feel like we need to stop allowing in the club setting. Okay? I observe people. And what I observed, and I've seen this many a times. And I've seen it recently. And it needs to be discussed. Okay? If you go out to the club with your friends and stuff, and you kind of having a good time and stuff, and you meet up with your boyfriend, or look, this can go for whomever you're dating, but for the sake of the story, if you are out at the club with your friends, your group of girls, right? And then their significant other, their boyfriend or whatever shows up, and you know that your either your boyfriend, their boyfriend, whatever, someone's boyfriend shows up. If it's your man show up and you notice that your so-called friends or other girls in your group, all of a sudden they get real turned up. All of a sudden they want busted open, and all of a sudden they just get the spirit of the twerkulator in them. Now, look, it's one thing if everybody's already turned up, geeked up, and everybody, hands on your knees, hands on your knees, pop, pop. If that's already happening and your boyfriend or whatever just so happened to show up, and if you are that girl who all of a sudden gets real crunk when their man shows up, like, are we all just acting like we don't notice it? Now, look, all I'm saying is, I went out and I was with some friends, and one of the friends, their boyfriend showed up, and I noticed that this one of their so-called friends, all of a sudden she got real excited. And hey, look, and hey, was I wrong for not saying that? I mean, look, I don't get in people's business, but I know what I saw, and I was like, hey, you be a fool to not see it. Look, all I'm saying is, and it's a story, it's a tale as old as time. But damn, like, y'all really be out here obvious. You can't even play that shit off. Like, you just all of a sudden, like, on cue. And this is, and by no means, this is not me saying, oh, you can't dance in front of your friends, man, and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is pay attention to the shift of energy that people around you have when you bring your significant other around. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a little too. And then, not only that, here's the real kicker. And this, to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm old fashioned. Maybe I'm a prude. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But what do y'all feel about, okay, not only did your so-called friend all of a sudden bust it open as soon as your man get there, but then the girl proceeded to offer that girl's boyfriend some of her drink. And not like, oh, I'm buying shots for everyone. No. The so-called friend had her drink in the hand and immediately offers it to the boyfriend like, oh, this is so good. Here, try some. Girl, is that doing too much? Is it me? Am I, y'all, I always ask, am I in Manhattan? Am I on Lonely Island? Am I in Staten Island? Or are we in Brooklyn? Where are we? Let me know. What's the population? Where am I? Because I feel like I'm Upper East Side Manhattan right now. I feel like we very densely populated right now. But let me know. I feel like that's you doing too much. And then he drunk it. Not only is it an issue of germs, look, I know we are no longer in the days of COVID. I mean, it's still a thing, and it's flu season. Here, taste this, huh? Why are we not fighting? I don't condone violence, but I feel like if a punch or a shove or a drink thrown in that moment, if it, I'm not saying, I mean, we all too old for this. At any age, it's too old. But what I'm saying is, if it did happen, I would have been like, I get it. It's justified. Do you need to do all that over, man? No. But you're, and now I'm looking at you like you're weak. You're weak. And hopefully later on down the line, it was a conversation like, girl, why you do that? You doing too much. Now, some people drink, they get a little friendly. That's fine. But it was just a little too comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the first time. And I was like, it just wasn't cute. It was giving, is more to the story. And I would just say that, but y'all let me know. I was like, girl, anyways, child. Anyway, speaking of people stealing people's mans, let's talk about Ariana and Ethan. Oh, that was actually a good segue. And I hate to point it out, it's just I've been struggling with segues lately. I don't know what's going on with me. That was a really good one, so I want to pat myself on the back. Let's pivot to Ariana and Ethan. Now, I think it was maybe a couple weeks ago, we talking about, rumors or confirmation that Ariana and Ethan have broken up. Because it seemed like she had moved on, was dating someone else, or bibbidi boppity boo. Well, cut to, now all of a sudden, because the Wicked movie is out today. Hello. Depending on when you're listening to this, you know, anyways, leading up to the movie's release, obviously you're getting a lot of press, you're getting a lot of interviews, you're getting a lot of articles and these things, and you're seeing this press about, oh, Ariana and Ethan, and what a great couple, and Ethan had all these great things to say about his girlfriend, and blah, blah, blah. Who do y'all think y'all are fooling? Who do you think you're fooling? We've been here before. We know the things of the Hollywood. They're not together. Now, look, we understand. Y'all know what's going on, right? Do I really need to spell it out? Obviously, they are not going to announce such a breakup during the premiere, during the rollout, during the steam of Wicked for Good. This huge blockbuster film, this huge project that has been the talk of the town for the last 5-6 years, right? They've been on this high since the first Wicked movie came out last year, and and I understand from a PR point of view, you cannot have this messy, explosive storyline of Ariana and Ethan broke up. They call it quits after only a year or 2 years or what? I think 2 years they've allegedly been together. I'm guessing probably a little more and a little less. Look, I understand that they're trying to give good press and they're trying to talk about it, but it's played out. We've seen this so many times. You have these, if it's not a pretend relationship, it's them dating casually, they blow it up more than what it really actually it is, or they are actually together and they pretend like they didn't break up months ago. This is a playbook almost as old as Hollywood itself. But we us as consumers, do not lie. The story is already broke. We know these fools ain't together, and y'all sitting over here panhandling. We're not panhandling, but y'all over here playing pretend like these people, we know they're not together. Maybe just don't talk about the relationship. And then 6 months from now, 8 months from now, when this all dies down, just announce the breakup that we already know has happened. Be for real. No one's buying these stories of, oh my gosh, you're so in love, and please, miss me with all that. But anyways, love you so much. But Ariana, I don't know whose man you gonna steal next. But anyway, I'm just playing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I've said too much. Oh boy. Anyways, we're not gonna open it up. We're gonna move right along to Toni Braxton. Okay, we're gonna pivot to another diva, and I just want to take a moment to talk about Toni and the impact of her music videos on my life. Okay, right now, that Man Enough, he wasn't man enough for me. That's trending right now. We know this. It's trending right now on TikTok. Everybody's doing the dance from the videos. Very iconic. We all know it. We love it. And before I talk more about just the impact of Toni Braxton's videos, I mean, we need to acknowledge the clapbacks of all clapbacks, okay? So we know Taylor Swift had a little, she said a little something about Kayla Nicole, who is not to be confused with the YouTuber Kayla Nicole, but the other Kayla Nicole, that is the ex-girlfriend of Travis Kelce. So in Taylor Swift's new album, she had some lines, some verses or whatever that alluded to Kayla Nicole. And in response, because he was a man enough for me, it was already a trend. So for Halloween, Kayla Nicole she dresses up like Toni Braxton, does this full production recreation music video of that legendary, iconic Toni Braxton video. And it was just right on trend. I mean, it's the perfect clapback of, girl, you basically, girl, you talking about me in your album. Like, why are you worried about me? He was not man enough for me. Don't you know I used to, don't you know I dumped your husband, girlfriend? I'm not thinking about him. And she looked good, and it was on trend, and it was great, and it should have stayed in the drafts, or maybe the close friends, a group on Instagram, because Swifties did what Swifties do, and the Swifties dug up Kayla Nicole's old tweets, and my gosh, they are unforgivable. They're from years ago, but she was grown, so there is very little bit of grace there is being held for Kayla Nicole. I mean, when she attacked almost every marginalized group, I mean, it just kept getting worse. They were bad. I'm not even going to read them, but they were really, really bad. And what I want to say about all this is, Kayla, I'm afraid you fell for the bait. One thing I know about Taylor Swift is that she is a very smart, calculated, 10 steps ahead businesswoman. Okay? She is not billionaire or near billionaire status for no reason. She has not been a master of this game for this long by pure chance and luck. The woman is smart. She is very strategic. And because Kayla Nicole's clapped back with the video and the he wasn't man enough for me and all of this, because it was so great, it made the leak of these tweets even greater. Kayla Nicole's comeback was one of the greatest ones. I mean, I will put it there on the level of Cardi B's clapback on oh God, I can't even think of the girl's name. What's the girl's name? Bia. I put it on the level of Cardi B's wonderful masterpiece of a clapback on Bia, which you're like, who? And it's like, exactly. I put that Kayla Nicole response on the level of Kendrick Lamar just destroying Drake late last year / early this year. And because that was so chef's kiss, when Kayla's tweets got exposed by the Swifties, and Taylor gets to sit back and be like, oh, I didn't even do anything. I had no idea. And she gets to sit here and eat up this, oh, so delicious. Taylor Swift gets to be like, not that she's actually saying this, but she's thinking it. I didn't even say anything. This is the girl you're defending? Oh, gosh, I had no idea. Oh, my goodness, you guys, can you believe? You want to sit up here and tell me that Taylor Swift didn't know those tweets? She knew. She had to. There's nothing that I can't prove it. I don't know. But she knew that if she had those little Easter eggs about Kayla Nicole and her album, she knew people were going to decode it. She knew that Kayla Nicole was probably going to clap back because they have not given this girl any peace since Taylor Swift started dating Travis Kelce, especially since they got engaged. Taylor knew this was going to be the final straw. And what does she know even more than that? oh, I have a bomb to drop on this girl, and she's going to ruin herself. And all people are going to say is, girl, if you knew you had those tweets lying around, why the would you come after Taylor Swift and the Swifties? It is a constant battle for the most atrocious, aggressive fans between the Beehive, who is Beyonce's fans, Nicki Minaj's fans, the whatever they're called, and the Swifties. It is a constant battle of who is the most aggressive, and it really comes down to Nicki's fans and Taylor's fans. They're relentless. They're very unforgiving, and they will take you down. And she knew this. And Taylor Swift probably planted this. I know she orchestrated this whole thing. And people are going to be like, "Oh, I don't even feel sorry for Taylor Swift. Like, you're trash. You deserve more than just some hidden message in an album." When they said that Taylor Swift is the oldest high school mean girl, or the oldest, high schooler. Oh my gosh, this is some mean girls high school A1 shit right here. Perfectly executed. And I'm like, damn, look, let this be a lesson learned. Do not mess with this woman. Do not mess with Taylor Swift. Do not mess with the Swifties, because it's a losing battle. You're not going to win. You're not going to come back from it. And whoo, bless your heart, Kayla Nicole. But anyways, all that to say, Toni Braxton has a great music video. No, really. I would get involved with the Kayla Nicole, but no, really. Toni Braxton has always been one of my staples, and three of her top videos that really molded me, that just changed me. It is gonna be obviously the Man Enough video. It's gonna be the Just Be a Man about it. It's something about that whole aesthetic of that video, that blue. She looks so good. I mean, it was just, that video was A1, and then at the end you had Q-Tip. I think it was Q-Tip they came at the end of it, because Dr. Dre is in it, and he's like the main boyfriend, and then at the end Q-Tip show up, and she like, well, it was just a beautiful, magnificent pop culture moment. And then that was like around the time Toni Braxton was kind of reinventing herself. It was like, her second or third, fourth wind. Every now and then Toni Braxton's come back and she reinvents herself. I don't know if you're seeing her lately, but god damn, she's still out here dipping and doing it. And then, of course, I think one of the first videos in my life that was really, that really, I'm like, oh my gosh, was the Unbreak My Heart video. Remember that? And you had y'all remember y'all remember the model who was in it. I can't think of his name, but y'all know it. If you know it, leave it in the comments. He was in it, and he was in a motorcycle accident, and he died. Oh my god. This was when the ballads were everything. This was the days of the Celine Dion's and the Toni Braxtons and the Christinas. This was when the girls were belting. Okay? They don't do ballads like this anymore. We don't get those. We don't get Unbreak My Hearts. This was a pivotal moment. And man, that video, oh gosh, Toni, she gives you a storyline in a video. All of her videos are great, but those are the three that really, you know what I'm saying? She's going to give you a radio hit. She's going to give you an unforgettable music video. Okay? Now, let's take another pivot. We got to talk about radio. Okay? And speaking of Unbreak My Heart and things that break my heart, if you are in the Houston area, well, I know a lot of people don't listen to radio anymore, but if you listen to KRBE, if you listen to the podcast, if you've ever listened to it, look, KRBE, the Rula and Ryan show is, a Houston staple. It really, really is. And if you remember, a few months ago over the summer, I actually went to a KRBE event. with my mother, and actually my mother got to be on the radio. She's on the podcast. She's also on their Instagram. So if you go digging, you might see my mom interacting and playing some games with the KRBE. So anyways, all that to say, Ryan, after 20 plus years on the radio, and I think about 20 years just with KRB Houston and the Rula and Ryan show, he's gone. He's not on there anymore. And they're not saying why, but we can conclude, or at least we can guess that it's obviously something that's very negative, considering the fact, number one, they had just re-signed another 5-year contract, number one. Number two, they have scrubbed him from their socials. His personal Instagram is gone. There was no farewell episode, and it was just sudden. It was just one day he was here, and the next day he was not. And they acknowledged it, for a couple days. And they kept saying, well, we can't speak on personnel matters. Meaning it sounds like he was let go. And, it's really sad because, man, you dedicate so much of your life to a field and a legacy, and you don't even get a farewell episode. You're dropped like hot water. Now, look, I don't know what he did. Maybe he did do something that was deserving of being let go like that. I don't know. And the thing about radio, or just entertainment business, it's very cutthroat. You're very here today, gone tomorrow. But radio, for sure, is definitely one of those things that people, I mean, these radio heads and stuff, they will just move on like literally like nothing ever happened. Now, in the news and with morning shows, TV and stuff like that, like it can be kind of like that too, but just a little harder to just not acknowledge something when it is on TV. I do feel like you got to acknowledge it more. You do get a little bit more of an answer, but with radio, I mean, an entire station will just be gone one day. Like one day you're listening to something, the next day it's gone. And the radio industry is even more cutthroat because no one really listens to the radio like that anymore. And this is going to be even more difficult because this is a morning show. The few people who do still listen to radio and for a long time, the morning shows are going to be where it's at. If you get your own morning show on radio, you have made it. And these people stay there for a lifetime. It is like an appointed Supreme Court judge, okay? You are appointed for life. And so when you suddenly leave, especially after the signing a 5-year contract, and they keep saying we can't speak on personnel matters, and you just been wiped out, that's how you know it had to be something bad, something negative, because there was no, we're really going to miss you, Ryan. Even if it was something where he had to step away for personal matters, they wouldn't erase him off of all of socials, right? They wouldn't be deleting comments. People are saying they're deleting comments. Now, there was rumor that he posted something inappropriate on his Instagram, and that's what led to it, but that's just rumors. There's some text messages and stuff floating around that alluded to some things about his personal relationships, but I haven't been able to confirm or, debunk that. So I will not repeat what I read or what I saw. I don't know, but it's very strange. KRBE, the Rula and Ryan show, that's my favorite station. I listen to their podcasts. If I don't actually catch them in the mornings in the car, I still listen to, because they post the morning show, online. That's where most people who do listen to radio, they listen to it later. So it is very strange. You definitely can tell that he's gone, and I just don't know how it's going to carry on. I mean, when you have one of your lead people, one of your main voices gone, that's a hard pivot, especially when people didn't get to say goodbye. There was no forewarning. He was just gone. And he wasn't even at the Nutcracker. Every year Houston has this Nutcracker Christmas shopping skibbity-bobbity-boo. I think at the NRG Center. It's every year, and Houston has this thing, and KRB is KRBE is always there doing their live show from there and DJing and blah blah blah. And Ryan was not at that event, but if I recall, so this was the last Friday or Friday before. Like, either way, he was there on that Thursday on the show, I believe, or if I remember correctly, and then he was just gone. So I don't know what happened in a day, but and they've already rebranded a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know how the show is going to carry on, what it's going to look like. I don't know if it can hold on. I mean, radio is already dying out so fast, and you've taken away one of your most pivotal people on your top rated show. I mean, I'm sure Rula can carry. Then you have Eric, and then you still have Special K and Sam and stuff. I don't know, but I hope everything is okay with Ryan. I hate that, maybe he'll go on to DJ maybe somewhere else or something. I hope this isn't. I would hate for his career, his legacy to to end on a sour note. But such is life. But speaking of anyways, Ryan, love you so much. Love you so much. Now, I do want to pivot a little bit to something else that they talked about on KRBE. And I actually made a YouTube video about this, about warning parents in their Christmas shopping and what brought that story on. If you want to go check out the little YouTube channel, honey, go check it out. But anyways, what brought on me making a video about warning parents about sending your kids and teens out Christmas shopping is because Eric, who's one of the DJs on KRBE with the morning show and producer, his daughter, 14-year-old daughter, went shopping at this Nutcracker, whatever the hell it's called, right? And she went with a friend. I hear a cat meowing. If you hear that in the background, I don't have a cat. And maybe, hopefully, I have software to try to edit out background noise and stuff, so you might not, I'm not losing my mind. You either heard it or it got edited out. Hopefully it gets edited out. That's very strange because the cat sounds like it's in distress. I don't have a cat. I'm not abusing it. I don't. Anyways, Eric's 14-year-old daughter goes to this thing with her friend and she gets her ears pierced. And I know you're like, well, she's 14. How does she do that? So they have the daughter send a permission slip to mom. Mom has to, download this thing. She signs it remotely, sends it back to the people saying, yes, she's allowed to get her ears pierced, which I think is I think that is really stupid business practice because any teenager could send it to anyone and say, yeah, this is my parent's signature. Like, they could, do you see what I'm saying? Like, no, you need to have an adult in person saying, yes, this is okay. Like, what the, that already sounds shady. But anyways, mom signs it, sends it over. So normally when you get your ears pierced, you pay for the piercing and you get a complimentary earring, right? And if you want to pick something that's not complimentary, you pay a little more for the earring that you want. These people suggested to this 14-year-old child, real gold, real diamond earrings for $750. $750. The daughter, Eric's daughter, did not realize that the earrings were that much until after she tapped her phone to pay. And then when she saw how much they were, of course, she goes into panic mode. She calls her sister, asks, what should I, oh my gosh. And so Eric was like, of course I was upset at first, but then I realized it's not her fault. The people bamboozled her, which they did, because why would you even show a 14-year-old girl who does not have her parents there? Why would you even show that? Why would you even think that she had that much money? They knew they found a sucker. But here's my thing. So first, let me finish the story and I'll tell you my thoughts. So Eric was like, we had a conversation about it. She said she's going to pass back. She's not going to get allowance for a while and blah, blah, blah. And I realized, she, she was bamboozled. So yeah, I was mad, but I think she really felt bad. Blah blah blah. Cut to the next day, Eric said that his wife called the business. Now, at this Nutcracker event, you get vendors from all over the world. But luckily, this would happen to be a vendor who actually is local to the Houston area. So the mother called the business and was like, "Hey, what is the deal? Why the hell did you sell my 14-year-old daughter $750 earrings? Like, how did this even happen?" The store apologized. They said that she can bring the earrings back, and I think the girl ended up getting a pair that was like $150, and they gave her store credit for the difference. I have a lot of issues with the story. First of all, I don't think. Let me address the store for a second. First of all, I want you could take these funky ass earrings. Now, I know when you first get your ears pierced, you really don't need to be changing them out. So either I would have got these earrings for free, or you could hurry up, you could switch them out safely in my daughter's ear. You could take them out and you just get your ears pierced later. This was for her second hole. So she already has ears pierced, but it was for like that second hole that, take them out and let the shit close up. I'm getting my money. I don't want a credit, and you're definitely not getting $150 pair of earrings. What? No, I want all my money back. And maybe you get a little $20 pair or something. I don't care how much money we have. It's principle, So why the people couldn't just let her get the $150 earrings and then give the rest of the money back? I don't know damn store credit because y'all are shady. Why would I want to come here and spend 500 something dollars with you? Like what? Like that? I'm probably gonna forget about it. And then y'all are just gonna y'all still pocketing that much money. You see what I'm saying? The other thing that I want to point out is I find it very hard to believe that a 14-year-old did not ask how much they were. Did she think they were $75? Because I could see that. Like if you go and you might save up your allowance or whatever, and you might have $75 spent on, some gold earrings or diamond earrings or whatever. Did she think it was 75, but it was really 750? I'm having a hard time believing that this 14-year-old did not ask what the price was at all, and you just tapped your phone. And if she did do that, you have completely failed as a parent, and so has the education system, because this is something they teach you in kindergarten. By the time you get to third grade, standard business and shopping practices that you go to the store, you pick out an item, you look at the price or you ask how much, and then you make the decision whether or not you have enough money or you want to spend that much money. This is that not common? Not like, even for rich kids, even if, like, apparently this girl is spoiled that she just tapped her phone. If it was something where she just didn't even ask, she just tapped it, she's spoiled. And nobody has taught her responsibility. But it's like, even if the parents didn't teach her, she didn't learn that very basic financial literacy skill in school by the time she was 14. I'm not understanding. Like, I don't like I'm sorry. I find this shit so hard to believe. What I think really actually happened is the little girl really wanted her ears double pairs. She really wanted those specific earrings. And who was gonna stop her? And by the time her parents realized how much was spent, or if she just pretended like, oh, I didn't know, That venue would be long ago. She probably didn't even think it was a Houston business. So she probably was like, even if my parents do get mad, how are they gonna get their money? Like, and my ears are pierced. What are they gonna do? Make me take the earrings out of my ear? Risk infection by switching them out? I think 14 is way too old to accidentally spend $750. By that age, you know that things are expensive. You know that jewelry costs a lot of money. I can see you going somewhere and you're buying a t-shirt and you assume that that t-shirt is $20 and then you tap and you realize it was actually 35. That I could see a 14-year-old doing. I could see a 45-year-old person doing that. Because we all have a general idea of how much things cost. You know, if you get a coffee or a beer, it's going to be between $5 and $10. You're not even going to check the price. If you go, into a store and you see a hoodie, you know it's going to be between 20 and $35. You're just going to assume, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get it. And I can see you scanning and be like, whoops, that was actually $60, not $30. You're not ever going to go somewhere to buy jewelry at 14 is old enough and just be like, I got it. You just didn't give a damn. And for you to walk away from that, when you look and you saw that it was $750, even if it was something you were excited and you misunderstood the price, or in your excitement you forgot to ask, when you looked at your phone and saw that $750 popped up, why were you not a puddle of tears immediately? She called the sister and acted like, oh, what do I do to cover her goddamn tracks? Because if it was me and I realized I accidentally charged $750, oh, I'm crying and telling people, oh, you got to get my money back and you got to take these earrings up out of my ear. I'm so sorry, but you got to take these out. You have to. They probably knew whose daughter that was, and they probably knew that they could get her. But I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that the little girl's lying, but either she's very poorly raised. But I'm just like, come on, 14. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to talk about nobody's child, but you can't be that dense. You can't be. How did you make it a 14? You just didn't care. And then y'all some fools, you letting people give you store credit, and these people gonna apologize. And they probably only did that because they realized who you were, you on the radio, and they don't want to be blasted. No, baby, y'all got scammed. That's crazy. $750. Baby, somebody's head's getting knocked off the screws. Do you hear me? Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. And I would have put them on blast. I would have said their name. Don't shop at this place. I would have said it all over the radio. Charge a 14-year-old. And for people out here with business and stuff, y'all can sit out here and play with people's children. Not everybody's parents are nice and going to step store credit. These people are nuts. And I don't know why y'all keep forgetting in Texas that everybody carries. Everyone is packing, and y'all want to choose to sit up here and sell $750 earrings. Okay. Oh, okay. Because that's not going to work. Not for me. But I digress. Anyways, speaking of things that aren't working, I just want to talk about it was this girl. And then we're going to wrap it up soon. Just a couple more things and I'll let y'all go. Speaking of things not working, apparently this girl's oven was not working. And oh my gosh, it was so funny. Y'all got to see this video. This girl, I know I'm taking a hard pivot, but it was very funny. This girl put some cookies in the oven and she posted a video. She was like, guys, I put these cookies in the oven for 8 minutes. They were still soft. So I put them in she said she put them in for 11 minutes. They were still soft. And so she put them in for 8 more minutes and they were still they were like hardly baked at all. And oh my goodness, the comments, y'all. Somebody was like, did you cook them with warm regards? Somebody said, just because the oven light's on don't mean the oven's turned on. Somebody said, Girl, bake these with the heat of the moment. Someone said, did you place them over a recently lit candle? Did you lean in and whisper bake to them? And then somebody posted a picture of them showing them her how to turn the oven on. I mean, the comments are so funny. Someone said, sorry, dude, that was the clock you set to 350. I mean, my lord, somebody said 15 degrees for 350 minutes. I mean, oh my gosh, the comments are roasting. And they were roasting so much so that somebody said, put the cookies in the comment section because it's roasting in here. Anyways, I thought that was so funny. Now, sweetie, I don't know if you didn't turn your oven on. I don't know if you need a new one, but how you had your cookies in there for almost 20 minutes and they're not baking, baby, I'm going to have to say it's a user error. Oh, you about to, maybe you might want to ask Santa for a new oven this year. I don't know what to tell you, but it was certainly funny, man. Sometimes the comments are more funny than the video. My Lord. And speaking of desserts, we've talked about Dolly and her desserts and her new hotel. Well, Dolly Parton is still out here on the roll. Okay, she's not just giving us cookies and meals and places to stay and visit and good music. She's about to open up some travel stops. Kind of like think of Buc-ee's, but Dolly Parton. Okay, and no, she is not just going to be slapping her name on some gas stations. No, she is coming up with her very own Dolly Parton travel stops. I mean, my Lord. I mean, this woman has done everything from amusement parks to music, hotels, charity work. I mean, and she's not slowing down anytime soon, and still out here looking wonderful. And I look, they're starting in Tennessee, obviously, and I hope they make way. They're going to expand all throughout 2026 and stuff. I mean, I'm excited if they bring one or two or whatever, if they bring them down here to Texas, or if they go to Louisville or wherever I'm at, if I'm ever in the area, now I'm gonna choose the area wisely. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, y'all be on. I ain't just gonna go. At the end of the day, I'm still, you know what I'm saying. But now, if it's somewhere safe, I would definitely be out there supporting to Miss Dolly. So, how do y'all think Buc-ee's is feeling about this? Do you think she's trying to come for Buc-ee's good? Do you think they can coexist in this world? Buc-ee's has had a monopoly over the. That's a very niche thing. People love Buc-ee's because they give you a very unique, one of a kind experience. But now Dolly's about to come up through. Can Dolly stand up to the Buc-ee's franchise? Will this only make Buc-ee's better? A little friendly competition, or is somebody gonna go under? Stay tuned. Either way, I will be there to compare and contrast. Looking forward to it, definitely. So, and if y'all get there before I do, let me know something, okay? Just like with the hotel, if y'all get there before I do, let me know something. Okay? But until we can all get to the Dolly Hotel, here's one thing I will suggest. If you're looking for a more comfortable way to sleep, have you all seen the potato bed? Now, this is not something that you necessarily have to buy. This is just another way of making your bed. If you have not seen the potato bed, I encourage you to go look it up. It is the cutest thing. So and it's going to be hard to explain, so look it up. But briefly, it is, you take your fitted sheet, right? But instead of, turning it down to fit it around the bed, you flip it the opposite way and you stuff pillows all around to where it kind of looks like a dog bed, right? And then you put blankets in there on the inside to, lay on top of. And then, of course, you put blankets and stuff over yourself. And it's like you're all swaddled and cozy, and this is starting to be a thing. Now, this is usually, people who sleep by themselves. I don't really know how it works with two people in it. I mostly have seen people sleep in it, just kind of on their own. But let me know if you can make it work too, if you're a couple, or if you sleep with your dogs or something. But People are doing their taking the fitted sheet, filling it with pillows and stuffed animals or blankets and stuff, and it's like you're all cozy and like a little newborn baby, or a little comfy, little cozy little dog bed, but for humans, a potato bed. It's fun. Look, cling to the little things of life. We all need a little joy, even if you only do it for like a week or a week. Just try it. You might like it. Make your own rules. Even some of you may have seen your teens and your young kids doing this. It's all the rage right now. I recommend, if you're not sleeping well, give it a try. It might work for you. And last thing that I want to say. Guess who went to the same school as RAVEN Symoné? Yes, RAVEN Symoné. Me. I did. Me. I went to Chanel. Nellyville has gone. I had no idea. But knowing that I am amongst royalty and share a degree from the same school, you can't tell me nothing. I'm so sorry. I love the school. It was Academy of Art University, located in San Francisco, California. Look, all I'm saying is I picked the school for a reason, and I loved it, and it was great, and I highly recommend. But now knowing, and to know that I had no idea that she even went there. And it sounds like we may have gone there around the same time. There might have been a little bit of overlap. I got to do a little more investigation. But to know that I had the same mind to pick the same school as the great RAVEN Symoné, you people will never be able to tell me anything ever again. My master's degree has just quadrupled in value. My pay grade has just gone up. My starting rate, it has. I'm so sorry. That is a flex. What school did you go to? Oh, the same art school as RAVEN Symoné. Yes, that was me. That was us. Yes, we are classmates. We are alumni of the same path. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Look, no autographs, you know what I'm saying? Look, maybe I can get you in contact with RAVEN. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is 1 degree of separation. Anyways, so yeah, that is my pod for today. I had to end on a high note. Yes, me and RAVEN Symoné both attended. Yes, we're both graduates of the Academy of Art University. Yes, we are. Anyways, with all of that being said, you guys have a great, wonderful Thanksgiving, because I won't talk to you until after Thanksgiving. I'll be here on Friday. Honestly, most of y'all gonna be out shopping and stuff, but there will be an episode. Play me while you're shopping. I'll keep your spirits up. If you're gonna do the things, or if you find yourself that you did too much on Thanksgiving and you want to do something chill, there will be an episode waiting for you next Friday. But with all that being said, have safe travels. Try not to talk politics at the table. It's not worth it. If you don't want to go, then damn it, don't go. If you don't want them at your house, then damn it, don't invite them. You know what I'm saying? Make the holidays about you. Start new traditions. Engage in old ones that no one else is doing anymore. Whatever makes you happy. Happy, wonderful, safe, blessing-filled Thanksgiving to all of Nellyville and all of your friends and family and extended co-workers, extended relatives, your pets, okay? And maybe even the ghosts that live in your house, okay? Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Have a good one. I'm thankful for all of you. No, I'm joking. Can you imagine? If I just what would you do? Would you turn the volume down? Or would you record me and post me oh, Chanel was great on the Nellyville podcast? Anyways, I've rambled on. It's been real. But I got to go. All right. Jesus, I'm yours. Bye.